Good evening. Police are in a desperate search for a mother's body tonight, with her son accused of kidnapping her from a Western Sydney park, then killing her and dumping the body.
The pair, already largely estranged, were allegedly in an argument about money on a Winston Hills street when detectives believe the meet-up turned deadly.
Arriving at Winston Hills on Monday afternoon in what police believe is the last time Sandra Popovic was ever seen alive.
The fact that no one has been able to contact her is significant for family and for investigators.
Detectives fear the 58-year-old mother is now dead, allegedly murdered by her estranged son Ante after a Monday meet-up at this Western Sydney park went horribly wrong.
Communications directed toward our missing lady were hostile in nature prior to that meeting.
The son, driving a white Toyota Hilux, is seen here circling streets in the area just after 4 o'clock. His mother arrives soon after 5. 7 News understands they stood in the park and argued about money. Police say whatever happened next was brutal and bloody.
Some forensic evidence has been obtained.
And didn't last long. The son, seen leaving at 5:14, police say his mother was with him, possibly stabbed and most certainly kidnapped. Detectives have tracked the son's ute to areas out west, beyond the Blue Mountains, and that's where they're searching for a body tonight. Sandra's distraught family tells me they want anyone who saw anything to contact police.
Particularly between the time frame of 4:30pm and 6pm on Monday the 8th of June.
Ante-Ivan Popovic was found sitting in that same white ute near his South Coast home yesterday afternoon. There was blood in the cabin and his mother's mobile phone. He was arrested and is tonight behind bars as the search for Sandra spans a 100-kilometre stretch from Winston Hills to Lithgow. And I can tell you that detectives were back at that Winston Hills park this afternoon, walking a potential witness through Monday's crime scene. The search for Sandra's body continues tonight, with police facing an enormous task of scouring huge tracts of bushland. They've so far traced her son's mobile phone to a tower near Hartley, a small village outside of Lithgow, but beyond that, nothing.
Thank you, Clementine Cuneo there. There was a strange spectacle rolling through our city today. Giant billboards plastered with Russian President Vladimir Putin's image took over Sydney streets in a stunt that's unsurprisingly been slammed.
Russian President Vladimir Putin, champagne in hand, toasting Russia Day in front of Australia's most iconic locations, the Opera House and even Bondi, despite the post-massacre sensitivities. The organiser, the so-called Aussie Cossack, under asylum in the Russian consulate.
A message of staunch Russian patriotism.
Some people are going to find this deeply offensive.
Get used to it, because Russia's not going anywhere and Putin's Russia will never be defeated.
This was a convoy of comedy errors that almost never made it. After spending hours preparing 3 trucks to drive their propaganda message home, they instead drove the message into a low-hanging branch, bringing half a tree onto a residence park Mercedes.
And then just everything come down, and that's my car.
That's your car?
Yes.
Her husband Nick in disbelief.
Who will you send the bill to?
That's a very good question.
And after years of repeated incidents outside this consulate since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, residents are over it.
We've had fire bombings, we've had cars being driven into the front. It's just getting ridiculous.
Questions too on the cost to escort it. At least 6 police vehicles deployed.
Well, it's just ludicrous.
While local Ukrainian officials say they're appalled.
Australians would be highly disappointed with this. Our government needs to do better, it needs to act, and it needs to stop these type of displays now.
Not a great day for the pro-Russian organisers here today, but they are insisting this isn't their fault. They're blaming the local council.
Yeah, they should have had it trimmed.
So it's the council's fault, not the drivers?
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Ukrainians saying the Russian efforts today just gave them more hope of a victory back home.
These guys are a bunch of clowns.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
Whether it's from a billionaire or from everyday Australians, the surging support for One Nation is turning heads across the country. But even as millions of dollars in donations continue to pour in, Pauline Hanson's critics aren't getting the message.
Heady days for Pauline Hanson. These protesters have forced a late change of Melbourne venue this evening for a One Nation cocktail party fundraiser.
We had too many bookings, people wanting to come, so that's why we had to change the location.
Not because of the protesters?
Oh God, no. Yeah.
I thought we've arrived at Melbourne, not Pyongyang.
Last night, the One Nation leader was mixing it with supporter Gina Rinehart and guests at the billionaire mining magnate's new Perth base. Rinehart, the donor behind Hanson's $1.5 million plus personal aircraft. This as One Nation claims spectacular success from ordinary Australian donors to its Fire the Liar fundraiser.
This whole debate is a smokescreen for the fact that they are actually run by the top end of town.
Late this afternoon, the party was claiming its play to the Prime Minister's broken tax promises had drawn way over $3 million from more than 50,000 donors.
We might just move the banner so that we can get into some rough and tumble politics.
The Environment Minister says by opposing tax changes, One Nation is the enemy of working Australians.
They oppose the very change that we're trying to produce that would make life better for working people.
And Angus Taylor has discovered a new trap for senior politicians, asked to simply name the electorate he was standing in.
I'm going to focus on the future of this country.
Do you not know the seat?
We'll keep going.
Seriously, do you not know the name of the electorate?
We'll keep going around.
In WA?
The opposition leader eventually conceding he didn't know. Tim Lester, 7 News.
Let's go live now to Paul Dowsley in Melbourne outside that One Nation fundraiser. Paul, good evening. What's happening there right now?
I'll give you a look at what's happening. The meeting is getting underway shortly, but what's protecting it is this ring of police at the front here, right around, also at the back, protecting people who are arriving. Pauline Hanson, Barnaby Joyce were here maybe half an hour ago. They are now inside. Dozens of their supporters are here now. Over the road here, we have some protesters, not many, because this event was actually meant to be in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, in Moonee Ponds. Just today, the event has changed. This, of course, is a big week with that fundraiser that we just heard about. Also coming up in the next couple of weeks here in Victoria, we're going to learn who the One Nation Victorian leader is and candidates with our state election coming up. They are going to stand in every seat. This is one of their big fundraisers this month, where Pauline is in town trying to get that momentum up ahead of that election. 5.5 months out, but this is what a political meeting looks like. We saw it in Perth just recently, surrounded by police, yet to see whether there'll be any disruptions from protesters.
All right, Paul Dowsley reporting there in Melbourne. Thanks.